to session 7 of Tales of Tellos, the Steam Age. I'm your humble DM, and I'm called Order, and these are my amazing players and amazing people all around. They will be playing as you know. This is session 7. You know the drill. I don't know, I'm talking. Anyway, all right, we got a few fun announcements for things. We just had a successful launch with Chaos over here, his game last week. So congrats on an amazing session 1. We're excited to continue the Guild campaign, also known as the Acronymic Adventures. Guild being the grand undertakings in lands divided. So if you're interested in a setting of classical antiquity with high magic, high stakes, a guild, an academy that controls an entire continent with political intrigue and very, very dangerous areas and terrain and survival mechanics, tune in Thursday. You'll have a fun time with all of us. So,
And probably the weirdest shit you'll ever see from a DM because my brain works very strangely sometimes.
and that too. So yeah. All right, awesome. Also, just as we're always gonna do this, Lumi, what's the theme today for the heads? Is it cats, bears, or rabbits? It looks like
So
rabbits.
no, this is my cat ears. I've been really scared to
Cat
change them after that last time when you guys
ears. Okay.
couldn't hear me and I couldn't mute. Also, you asked the one day I don't wear a kigurumi.
Okay. Well, we'll.
Akasan, you put me on blast. I was like, they're not
I'm gonna put you.
clean. It's okay.
Uh, I'm gonna do this every time now. Just be warned. You are warned.
That's
I
okay.
will ask.
I've got my Halloween session costume ready to go.
Excellent. Excellent. All right.
We gotta do
Also,
that.
we are very happy to announce that we got some art back for it, for one of our favorite characters, where all of them are favorites, but check out the art for Dr. Zanishara Glory Song Ventiri. We will be uploading most of the art over there. We'll try to put in the description the artist we've been working with closely for it. But yeah, we have new Zanny art, and we'll be updating a token for her by next week for it. So we'll be phasing out the old token.
Can I ask what Zanny keeps in the calf pockets?
Dr. Zanny, what does she keep in the calf pocket?
You don't want to
Let's
know.
see.
Is it snacks for
see.
Imberin so he just has to reach up and grab them?
I have
It's
to
actually
know.
more pockets. There's more pockets in there.
It's a pocket with pockets.
It's actually her. The pants pockets are her emergency supplies for, like emergency med kits in one. There's a little thing of rations in another. Some of her alchemical components in another. There's just straight up a healing potion in one of them, just in case.
Do her thigh belts double as tourniquets?
All belts double as tourniquets, but yes,
I didn't know if they were removable. I'm sorry. This is
yes,
all.
these are effective.
I love your character art, so it's good to see. What Alice has been looking at this whole time. She would have asked all those questions.
Yes, it's all function over form. It's all function over form. It just happens to look kind of good too.
But
The
what
only
is
thing I
under
would
the
be
eye
cautious
patch? That's the real question.
You know, none of you
You know
ever
what's
seen
under
that.
the eye patch?
Person.
Another eye patch.
Just an Ouroboros of eye patches.
Yes. But yeah,
One day you'll see.
one day.
Finally, we're just going to take it off. After taking off 20 eye patches, there's just a tiny little hand that pops out with a middle finger.
No.
Awesome. All right. So we're excited about that. We're excited to see what we're going to be setting up. I think the next one we are doing is Erlon, and then either APOC or Chance. So we'll see what happens and go forward from there. So
Are we getting both a masked Erlong and a sexy Erlong?
We've already
wait,
talked
masked
about it.
Erlon?
Or sorry, I was thinking APOC.
I have a mask now?
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I will go back to my corner now. Sorry.
Yeah.
We all
No
know your
worries.
big personality is just a mask.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe.
This episode, Big Red gets into masks.
Erlon was the fighter from the south. He wasn't a luchador.
Luchador.
Was it clear on the background? Sorry.
Thank God I was not a luchador. Oh my God.
All
I
right.
have to make this now.
Does anyone have any other things they wanted to announce before we go into the recap and then this very interesting session we're gonna have tonight?
I I feel like I need to say it before what happens tonight happens. I love you all.
What does that mean?
That just
roll a
we're in for a
persuasion
world
check.
I love you
Oh,
all.
Zanny's causing the TPK.
This is the end. So
It's not a TPK. It's just a. You're gonna get bitch slapped with history and reality.
That's my favorite.
Oh
thing
God,
to
that's
get
right. I
bitch
forgot how he
slapped with.
finished.
Oh, and Alice, I'm double sorry. So we're just gonna leave it at that.
Are you gonna
and
kill
with
me?
that,
Don't
foreboding
fuck with the dress.
introduction, let's dive into the recap and then the start of session 7.
You shouldn't have asked what's in our pockets.
There you go. All right. So last time took place in the 21st and 22nd of Songs, the year 11413. After surviving the giant scorpion attack, APOC began to move with definitely some hostility towards Alice and Dante, more focusing on Dante with some violent intentions. The group quickly blocked him. Zanny pointed a shotgun to his back, and they were able to de-escalate the situation thanks to Alice, or perhaps in due part to Alice's wordings or choice of words to APOC, saying that if he was not being strong enough, then if he wasn't strong enough, he shouldn't take it out on Dante for it. So, hurt, stung, and then questioning his self-worth because of a lot of different reasons, and because this one perhaps something to do with the sword, as we found out that session. The group saw APOC become much more isolated, much more reclusive, but focused on the task at hand, getting this father to his wife, or this husband to his wife, so he could become a father and help her with that process. The group arrived at the Wells family home. Lance focused on dissecting and removing parts of a giant scorpion. Erlon helped with the buckets of water, as well as later attempted to cook. Another attempt was made to cook by M, and then later Lance helped cook with big red pasta. The group then was able to basically rest. Most of the group was able to rest, but not so much for Dr. Zanny, who stood a good 13, 14 hours helping this woman, Melody, deliver her baby. And she gave birth to a healthy, beautiful baby girl who they named Marissa after her grandmother, or after Dante's grandmother, who Alice sort of hinted at was perhaps having some interactions with. That conversation hasn't yet been fully outlined or disclosed yet to the party. Some blessings were made, especially from one of our Fey giants here, to the child, and it was a very peaceful, wonderful way to start the new day. That was until APOC had, for lack of a better word, a nervous breakdown. Having and suffering a horrendous nightmare, a vision of sorts, perhaps, of the 9 hells and him being doomed to go there, but then, for some reason, spared or saved by a mysterious figure, speaking words that redemption was still possible. Despite this, he completely entered into a panic, started screaming for Erlon. The group converged around him, and Lance saw that on his hand, the infernal script was written there saying sin. The group tried to speak to APOC and get him to be coherent, and he tried to explain a little bit about the sword. Ultimately, the group decided to take the sword away from him without him noticing. The group then left the Wells family farm, made their way back to town, and was seeking one of the paladins that they was seeking a paladin that they were hoping was still there, but found out that she had left that night or earlier in the morning. The group tracked down one of her friends, Eloquin, at the train station, and was able to try to start talking to her about things in a private room. Eloquin was definitely confused about the whole situation, but listening to try to get as much information as possible so that she can convey that to her friend, Zionva. When APOC mentioned the need for the sword, and that the sword was not an infernal weapon, but an instrument of justice, a harbinger, as its name is called. That's where we ended, and that's where we pick up immediately at that scene. Does everyone see the new map?
I Captain Yellow Shirt.
Then
he's wearing a blue shirt.
I like how he looked down for a second just to confirm what color shirt he was wearing.
I didn't actually.
There was a quick glance there. I caught it.
I'm like, I can see my shirt. I know I picked it out blue specifically. So I'm just like, what? So, proceed, group. What do you all do?
So this is right after. This is like
you just said that word.
Lance looks at Zanny.
Mm-hmm.
Then looks at Eloquin.
Yep, Eloquin is right next to Erlon. She is standing there, just like listening intently.
Very eloquently.
Eloquently, yes.
Lance is
trying. The look Zanny shoots you back when you look at her is. I don't know how you interpret it, but she's meaning to send for the love of the 16, not here.
Okay.
And just like eyes immediately darting to Eloquin.
Yeah.
Lance, what are your surface thoughts at the moment?
Lance is calculating in his head what he needs to say to diffuse the situation and get everybody to somewhere where there's no chance of prying ears. He's trying to calculate what the best route to do that is.
Okay.
Probably to the rest of the group, the two of us, Alice probably might think the two of us are having a psychic conversation because there's just a.
The rest of you see this like tensing up of Lance and Zanny.
What'd you say the name of that sword was?
Harbinger.
Okay. I heard you right.
What are your surface thoughts at the moment?
Fuck. God damn it. 16 fucking shit. No, I'm gonna have to tell them. I'm gonna have to tell them everything. I'm gonna have to tell them fucking everything.
All right.
May I have my weapon?
You mind?
Shortly. We. After we're done here, we can talk a little bit about getting your weapon back to you.
There's some things you might need to know.
Okay.
And Lance will look at APOC and then at Eloquin and seeing if he gets the message.
APOC, roll an insight check. I would say with disadvantage, just because of your mental state at the moment. Yeah, I don't see the roll yet.
No.
But
it was a 2.
It is a 2. Yeah, you have no idea.
Oh no.
Yeah, so anyways, if I know she just It's been a week in real time. Brian forgot the name. Zephyrdilia.
Her name Zionva.
Zionva? I got the Z right. If Zionva's not here, I think she's the one who's really going to need to help us with this. So, Erlan, I know you wanted to talk to Eloquin. Why don't the rest of us give them some space? And Erlan, you meet us back at the watering hole.
I thought the purpose was for me to know what's going on so I can relay that to Zionva.
Why? It's a developing situation. Why don't you... crap, I wonder if we can get sending stones in town. Did anybody see sending stones when you were at the trader? The Wahatna trader?
No, unfortunately.
I don't recall.
Okay.
If this is... I'm just trying to help if it's something really sensitive. It appears... I mean, for a moment ago, you all were very talkative, then suddenly that word was mentioned, and now the two of you are suddenly... I mean, I don't know you all very well. I'm not sure if this is normal.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm kind of at a loss as well. I'm not really sure what's going on.
Eloquent does kind of when she says that, she does take like a step forward to kind of like get a little closer and kind of like see everything, and she kind of like is gesturing just a little bit with her hands, nothing like spellcrafting or anything, but she is definitely a little closer to Erwan.
This just this is one of those situations where I don't know. Okay, this is normally where I would be a little more tactful and probably lie my way out of this, but I'm a little tired. So if you'll excuse me, I'm just gonna be blunt about it. There are certain things that you probably should know. I know there's things that probably would help you to know, but we need to have a discussion first because there's some things that shouldn't get out to public knowledge. And we need to figure out what we need to tell you. So, is there a way we can contact you shortly after we have maybe a conversation?
Of course, I'll be outside in the station then.
Can I have my weapon?
Do you mind if we have a talk about something first, and then I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't. If it has done something to him, I don't see much point in keeping it from him. Especially because that way we can see if it continues to do something. And if we all know, then we can do something about it. If it turns into a problem. I'm getting worn out, honey. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that makes sense. Eloquent, yeah, I'm sorry to drag you in here and then ask you to leave so abruptly. Just give us a couple minutes and we'll get back to you here shortly after we figure out that the rules changed, and we need to make sure that we're doing what's best for the safety of everyone here.
No.
Sounds very dire. I'll admit I'm now more curious than ever before, but I understand. I'll respect that decision. And
thank you.
Does she have to? Does she have to? Does she have to go?
just for a few minutes. I mean, I swear.
Don't worry, Big Red. And she says, Big Red places her hand on your shoulder. we can talk better. Right now, you need to be with your friends and figure out whatever is going on here. She
Okay.
just like her hand is on your shoulder and kind of a little bit gently like rubbing it just ever so slightly, in a comforting manner. I'll be outside.
As she leaves, I want that like very slow, dramatic. No.
Where is she headed to again?
She was trying to go into Jeddah.
Can I, on the way out,
Oh,
stop
she is going to
her
Jeddah.
and pull all of the letters Alice has written to Bruce in the like as my journals? It's like a nice stack at this point. She goes,
Yeah.
"Darling, I will give you. I don't know how much silver it'll cost me, but however much you want, will you just take these to the front desk at the Ivory Palace, please?"
Certainly. No costs needed at all.
Are you certain? I mean, I just haven't seen my husband in so long, and it's really hard to send off this correspondence.
None. Then like your hand is like, so I'm trying to picture the scene for her. You're like offering her the bundle, and she just like puts your hand like this, right, with the stack, and she just puts her hand on top of your hand. I'll do it. No worries.
You're a godsend, darling.
A lady should always be with her husband or in communication with her husband whenever, just for the love and affection that you are showing.
Lance mumbles under his breath, "It's been 2 damn days."
Yes, 2 damn days.
Eloquent doesn't know. She just, the way Alice is saying it, it's like she's been gone, and especially the stack of papers.
I know, Lance is just going like this. He's like, "It's been 2 days." Like,
Eloquent has no idea. She's just like taking it at face value, everything you guys are saying. So she's just like, oh, like here's a stack of papers. Like you've been gone for like a month. All right, yeah, I'll take it. So she takes it, kind of like puts it in her satchel, looks around. And Lance, did you put her suitcase in like on like the side of the room?
yeah, it would have been nearest to the door when we walked in.
Okay, she just goes and she just picks it up with one hand. I'll be outside. Hopefully, if you guys decide anything, let me know before the train departs. And if not, I hope to see you all very soon.
Of course.
Oh, we
Thank
will.
you so much. We appreciate your understanding with the mess that we are.
Speak for yourself, Lance.
When she leaves, Alice is gonna look at Erlon and go, "If you manage to get with her, I will personally pay for your room."
Yeah, she does. As she leaves, the last person she does look at is Big Red. So, and then she leaves.
Yeah, she wanted to make sure he was staying behind.
Shut up, Payback.
All right.
I walk over and put my hand on Erlon's other shoulder after Alice says that. Just be like, "Yeah, no, she likes you. Yeah, I think you're doing all right."
Yeah, but the other one was more muscular. Oh, that's okay.
Hey,
boy.
Erlon,
Yeah.
I could barely lift that suitcase. She's got that long lean muscle.
That's a good type.
I just imagining that's like the exact noise.
Yeah, that is the exact
That's
noise.
good.
This is all this is canon, yes.
Yes.
So now you all are presumably alone in the room.
Okay.
What do you all do?
Does anybody know detect magic?
Yeah, I
Can
can
you-
do it.
Can you guys scan the room real quick, one of you?
I was about to ask you the same thing, Lance.
I don't have it prepared today. I do. Never mind. It would take me 10 minutes, but I don't have it prepared. I could cast it as a ritual.
Yeah, I'd have to take a nap before I can do anything.
I can do it once per day.
That
You
would
mind
be
taking a
lovely.
look around?
This is yeah.
Where's the sword at currently, by the way? Like, according to the map.
It's in Lance's bag.
It's in Lance's bag. Okay.
It's not visible anywhere.
Not visible.
It's
Wait,
currently
this is
it's
post
corrupting the
a long
Orca
rest, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, those are
Corrupting the Orca Colas.
It's okay.
We
We'll get you new
long
Orca
rested, right?
Yes, you all did long rest,
Okay.
except for Dr. Zanny. She did not.
I wonder if a Hellfire sword heats up a bag of colding from the inside.
Jesus.
Did I manage to squeeze in a short rest of any kind on the way?
Roll a con save.
Okay.
DC is going to be a 12. Because you were jostling a bit when you were being carried, and then suddenly running over here. So just DC 12.
It did not report, but I got a 17.
Then you have
Or
a
did it
short
report?
rest.
Nope, there we go. Okay.
I didn't
I
see
did get a
it.
short rest.
Yeah, I'm not seeing your guys' rolls. So
Yeah,
I
mine's
think
not.
I saw something that D&D Beyond updated.
Yeah, there might not be an up. There just
Mine
might
went
not
oh,
be
through.
an
there we
update for
go.
the.
I see your roll, Lance, for the Arcana.
Maybe have you
Casting my
guys,
spell worked.
if you guys aren't seeing yours, just refresh D&D Beyond.
That might be it.
Cool.
That's the best roll I'm gonna roll all night.
And it's an intimidation. Awesome.
Oh, short rest.
All right.
Do you? The Zanny doesn't look hurt, right?
Yeah.
Oh well,
Zanny's still
Alice-
fucked up from the scorpion fight from last night.
Alice is humming a little song right now under her breath as
Nice.
she's kind of fiddling with stuff, and you can add an extra 1d6 to your hit points because I'm gonna
Oh,
use Song
bless
of
your heart.
Rest.
Bless your heart, baby. All right. If I take D6. Okay,
All right.
that gets me back to 1 under max,
Perfect.
and my spell slot's back.
Awesome.
I have
All
2
right.
of them.
Yeah. Yes. Apothecary. Yep. All right.
But yeah,
Let's-
Em
yeah.
will cast detect magic and kind of start roaming around the room a bit.
Yeah, you look around and are roaming around, and you see some telltale signs of like magic items on your team. It is interesting that Zanny has some magic in her eye, like behind the eye patch. You're not entirely sure what kind. Looks very alien in a sense that it doesn't really conform to any of the traditional schools of magic. But overall, the room looks presumably secure.
Okay.
No, nothing other than the odds and ends that we have on our persons.
DM, is Sheldon still off-putting to Alice?
I mean, that's up
in
to
this no, in the same way that he was on the train.
What do you mean, like off-putting? Like,
Like he just gave her. She doesn't know it was him, but is he still sort of exuding that like sense
Creepy
of
spirit
Oh,
vibe.
the
dread?
creepy spirit vibe? Not so much.
He's-
Just like that one moment. But right now, he just when you're sitting next to or with him on the table, just feels like an undead. He's just sitting on the table.
Yeah,
Just one.
she's kind of like grabbed him and is just kind of like playing with his front legs a little bit very carefully, but like she's messing around with him a little bit.
Yeah, he just looks at you and goes,
There it is.
There
There
it is.
it is.
Welcome everybody.
Why?
just
I feel like this
it's
is better
fun.
than dolphin voice. Just
just that face of a skeletal turtle just makes that coughing sound.
Oh my god.
But yeah, and meanwhile, Blazer is on the top of the shelves, just prowling around, probably knocking a couple of things off the table or off the shelves. Cat looking.
all right. Let's start with this. APOC, tell me as much as you can remember about whatever happened to you last night. Were you having a dream? Did you hear a voice? Did you talk to anybody?
Wasn't a dream. It was my future. I woke up and I knew where I was. And I believe it was hell. I could hear the screams and smell the brimstone And I knew that's my fate. It's very strange, though. There was a hand on my shoulder eventually, and a figure in white, gray, white, I think. And the word that I heard was redemption, but that's not possible. It's just not possible. And then I woke up and I was alone. I'm sorry, am I keeping you? Is my pain putting you to sleep?
No, that was Brian. Brian is sick. So
Screw you guys. Fuck you guys. I'm leaving.
Screw you guys,
no.
I'm going home.
You're not
Lance-
alone, APOC. You're not alone.
Lance looks at Zanny.
You know what?
and
My
goes,
name is Steve.
Hi, Steve. Oh my god, I really believe that.
All right, let's get back into character.
Oh god.
Lance looks at Zanny. Because DM, does Lance know what? Not necessarily the name. What's the thing was that was in Apoc's dream? Does he know of the existence of those things?
Roll a religion check. Also, Apoc, did you mention an important defining characteristic of that being? Because right now you just said a figure in white, gray, and white. Something.
I have not yet.
Okay, because that's gonna then that may increase or decrease the DC for it. So right now, 14. I'm gonna say it's not ringing any bells for you, Lance. At least the description. Whether you know about that or not, do you think that book would have mentioned their existence?
Let me see what you said. Maybe.
It would have been, but it wouldn't have given details then.
Right. So
you know,
he might know what the thing is if he hears the name, but
potentially, but even then
yeah.
it would be a little higher of a DC, just because
Right.
you're not well versed in depth. But yeah, right now just a figure in white, grays, and white. Speaking of redemption, even that would be a little difficult for Zanny to pinpoint.
The whole time, Zanny's been looking like she's trying to find something to say. Like she's looking like she's been searching for like something, like keeps trying to start a sentence and then just like, and then when she finally does talk, she just she looks over at Apoc and just, love, everyone's able to get redemption. Everyone.
I wish I could believe that.
You know, Apoc, it's possible that what you saw is just not the future, but a future. You see, the way it works is Bavel provides freedom for everyone, and so your choices are what determine your fate. So if you are to make perhaps a different choice, perhaps a new future will reveal itself in a new dream, because things have changed. Because you have the freedom to make your own choices.
I don't have any freedom, Bryn. I don't think any of us have any freedom. We're locked into the destiny. And whatever this creature was, I don't care how large his wings were. I don't care whether he was clad in white, black, gray. I'm damned.
It had wings.
Who?
You said the creature. You didn't care how big its wings were.
It had wings.
What kind of wings? Like leathery black evil wings, or light, fluffy, feathery bird wings?
When you say leathery wings, he continues looking away. When you mention feathery, he looks at you in the eye. He doesn't say anything or do anything, but that got his attention.
To clarify for you, APOC, the
Okay.
wings were made out of mist.
Mist, excuse me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. So let's rewind that. No. No, they were. Well, I mean, it makes sense. We were in hell. They were smoke, mist. I don't know.
About
Can I have my sword?
about 7, 8 feet tall. Misty wings. Spoke to you of redemption, you said?
I didn't measure him. That sounds right. Miss Alice, I can't protect you if I'm not armed.
Darling, there are no immediate threats, and I've already told you, you're not protecting me right now. We're taking care of you.
Lance looks at Zany. Do you know what that was?
I think I have an idea. And I mean, let's see, second book. That would have been second book. So, I don't have that one on me. Can I roll a history check or possibly a religion? Maybe well.
Sure. Roll. So wait, just to confirm, you're trying to pull knowledge from the book.
Yeah, it's like
Then
yeah.
that would be
I'm kind of I'm thinking back because he's talking about things that it's reminding me of things that I read.
Roll a history check with advantage. And M, yes, you can roll a insight check if you want. Yeah. Zanny, you definitely remember that book too is not very much published because of the fact that now you're starting to get into state secrets.
Yeah. Yeah, he had to fight for
And then for
5
M,
years to keep it from being banned.
the it's a poop roll, but still, you're not able to tell if it is a compulsion, like magical or not. But APOC, it really is reminding you a little bit of certain high emotion Fae, where that is their emotion at the moment. It's very difficult to change that emotion, whether that is natural or magical. It's hard to tell.
Not seeing Zanny say anything else, Lance turns his head back to APOC and goes, "All right, I'm going to give you your sword back in a minute. But first, I want to ask you something."
Dude, did you? I know. Sorry. I know DM. Like I at least have a really, really good idea.
Yeah, you do. Yes.
I just cut you off, Lance. Give him the sword back.
Okay.
Hold on. And she's gonna set Sheldon aside. And she's gonna
Wait, so do you put him normal side or upside down?
She's not paying attention, so I'm gonna roll a 1d2. If it's a 2, he's upside down. How do I do it?
Type slash roll.
He's upside down. And she kind of like scoots back, and she's gonna come over here to APOC, and she's gonna just like turn his shoulders towards her a little bit. APOC, I need you to promise me one thing before they give you your sword back. And I'm not against them giving your sword back, but I need you to promise me something.
Anything.
That you won't hurt innocent people to protect me. I would rather you hit me with the sword and wound me than kill a person who doesn't deserve it, like Dante. if you need someone to lash out at because the sword is making you hurt me.
No.
Wow.
No, you don't understand. You don't understand. I agree.
You won't hurt anybody if I tell you not to.
I won't hurt anybody that's of good intention.
Well, then you can never hurt yourself, because I've always got the best intentions, Park. And she's going to awkwardly pat him on the head again, and she's going to go fix Sheldon. She's going to sit back down and start playing with him again.
And he's just like, as he can't, he is at her mercy at the moment. He does tilt his head towards Lance, like,
Lance just looks at it while this is going. It's like, figure your shit out, man. Come on, you can do it. I've seen you do this trick before.
All right.
And
Erlon kind of like thinks some thoughts about Eloquent and wipes away some blood, anime style. But it's fine.
Yeah, in the moment, can I just kind of have like a side note with APOC and just go up to him, and just ask him like, APOC, why me? Why, like, after everything, like, you needed me? Like, I feel like I'm not the person to help you. Like, why do you really believe that I can be the one to help you?
What are you talking about?
Earlier, whenever you had this crazy dream of this person you're just like explaining to us about, like, why were you screaming my name? Like, why did you feel like I was the only one that could give you this type of redemption or whatever? And just you're sobbing, crying, and just asking for forgiveness. Like, why?
You don't know?
No.
You're who I aspire to be. You're my friend.
Big Red is really just gonna take that in. That was like a big thing, and just
he doesn't I mean, he basically puts his hand behind your head, and he kind of pulls you close, like you guys are. He's holding your forehead to his, and he's like, you have no idea what you're capable of, but I do.
That means a lot, APOC, and we're here with you. Don't think that you're alone. We're gonna take care of you, and if redemption is what you need or strength is what you need, we'll be by your side. I appreciate that, and I'm with you till the end, bud.
He kind of just says, you're not a buffoon. You're not a character.
I'm Big Red. You're right.
You're Erlon. Being Erlon is enough.
Maybe one day it will be.
Just shakes his head. Great. The mentally ill guy is standing in judgment of you. He just says, that's fucked up, bro. That's fucked up.
Are you okay to practice our handshake now?
Sure.
Yes.
Both of you roll a d20. You need a 10 or higher.
Oh, that's fine.
So bad. Yeah, we'll do fine.
Yeah, 10s are so great with us.
Roll the same number.
Erlon rolls
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
And a natural 20. You guys pull it off.
Oh, damn.
Perfect timing for this.
There it is.
We did it.
The best nat 20 of the campaign so far.
I would have spent inspiration on this.
And with our powers unite.
I feel like I still feel like it's such a simple handshake. It's just this is the first time Erlon's heart's been in it. He's like, yeah. I'm in it.
Yeah, we class right there at the end, it's just that like moment of just seeing eye to eye again, like when we first did on the train, and yeah, you're my brother, bro. Let's take care of you. And honestly, at that point, Eloquent, she's still there, but right now she's not the priority. For once, for once.
Character development.
For now. All right, calm
Damn.
down.
And his heart grew 3 sizes that day.
That day.
Rose before druids.
Rose before Groves.
Oh God.
Awesome. Cool.
All right. So
Speaking
Lance
of,
will pull out the sword and slide it back to him.
Yeah, it looks like a
And-
normal sword right now.
Roll initiative. He kills us all.
He probably could.
He does draw the sword. He stands up, draws it, and begins moving through some katas, just getting the feel for it. Sheaths it. And he looks at Alice and asks for his mask.
Oh, darling, I don't
I'm
have
better
that.
now. I'm better.
I trust you that you're better, but I did not pick up that ghastly mask. You look much better without it.
Does anybody have it?
Alice is shooting like daggers at all of you with her eyes, like, don't you fucking dare.
Somebody has it. I don't remember who picked it up. This is out of character. I don't remember who picked it up. I know somebody did.
Zanny did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got
Do
out.
we
And-
have any paper mache?
And no, well, at that moment, literally, what you're asking for it, I will just straight say, Zanny has it, but with what you just told me that I don't need to hide behind my name, I think the same should go forward with you hiding behind the mask.
He hears Zanny has it, and his head just snaps to look at Zanny.
Jesus.
May I please have my mask?
Oh, that is creepy.
Begins spider walking to you, Bray Wyatt style. No, I'm
You're sitting 2 feet away from her.
that's the creepy
Starts-
part.
Turns into the ring, climbs on the underside of the table for no reason. Yes. Hang on a second. Pulls it out of her bag, hands it over to him.
He puts it
I feel
on.
you didn't put it on, but it's your mask.
Stands
Do
up.
what you want.
I believe Jedna was the destination.
Hold on.
Yes, darling.
This,
Stop.
this,
Sit. We have
this-
things to
this-
talk about.
there's still the
We got a
conversation
phoenix
that needs to
feather
be
to
had.
find too.
Yes, we do need to do that too.
And we need to have
We
it.
can talk and move.
We need to have it.
No, we
No,
can't.
we cannot.
Nobody
Not
outside
like
this
this.
room can know what we're about to say.
Yeah, no, I'm
Apex
curious
back.
why these two got in a spook about a word.
They're weird,
Um,
darling.
How does the Fae not know words have power?
Well,
Uh,
I know that it's that particular word. It didn't mean anything to me.
this one is a word that has power here.
How
Is-
much
what
do
do
you...
Is Sandy talking with a Rian accent, or is that...
It is. She's speaking. Her accent, as it were, has fully. At the mentioning of that word, it's fully gone. As
It
soon as
broke.
the room was clear and she's surrounded by only you people, that twang, that whole I'm from Southern Gal, that it went away. the entire everything went. It just dropped. It just dropped like a bag of hammers, and this is Annie now.
The reason I asked is because her accent's a lot like Alice's. Is
Yeah.
it something that's
It's
native
a
to
Rian.
Rhea? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Double sorry.
Alice is
Double
just
sorry,
kinda
and
like,
yes,
There are
it's a Rian
different
accent.
dialects in the Ria, but yeah,
This is a more native Rian accent. Let's put it that way.
How much do you guys know about history? Let's go back. How much do you guys know about the rise of the Empire? the Rian Empire.
DM, when was the first Rian Empire?
During the Tower Age. So you would have left or heard of this first Rian Empire that collapsed.
Current one.
Alice is gonna say, and minorly, she's gonna say one word. She's gonna like conjugate it wrong, but it's still the right word. But she's gonna say next to nothing. In written.
Yeah. So instead of saying next to nothing, it's next by nothing, she says.
Yeah.
Next by nothing.
But yeah, anyone who wants to can roll a history check.
I'm gonna roll one. Just maybe Daddy told a good story one time.
Maybe Jack of all trades kicks in.
Yeah. So we'll see. Alice, APOC, Erlon. Erlon, I'm gonna give you advantage because you were born there. Let's see how good the Beltland School was. Nope, okay. So 10 is
That
a
sounds
common
about right.
status. So like basically the bare minimum
Still
what
a
you
farm
need to
boy.
pass school. Yeah.
the farm boy.
So with Erlon, you know the basics of 200 years ago, the beginning of the Steam Age or the last year of the Silver Age, there was this wonderful group of heroes that helped protect the lands from the Catal invasion. They stopped the Grey Flame religion from entering the Ria. At that time, there was a sorcerer or sorceress named Furia and a paladin prince named Antoninus, and they helped along with the famous Silver Warbreakers and founded the empire. Basic knowledge. That is the bare minimum that any commoner would know is, stopped an invasion, a sorcerer and a paladin got married. That's kind of like for America is, we didn't like the British Empire, so we threw some tea into a harbor, had a war, and then declared our independence.
Gasson, like you've described my teaching experience.
Go hey, I almost minored in history. I almost had the credits for it. I know the American education system. I'm like, ugh. All right, that's the basic knowledge. For APOC and Alice that rolled above 15, you would know a little bit more detail of that there was, it is a very complicated situation of what happened. Essentially, though, it is kind of like what was mentioned, that there were some cultists or some terrorists that were trying to attack, like an organization, a lot of that was causing conflict. There was a lot of different political parties that were fighting each other. The term harbinger, you're not sure if that was a political party or not, but essentially that all got resolved by the Silver Warbreakers before they fought the invasion of the Catal Empire and stopped that empire from taking over the Ria. They were very powerful heroes, said to be level 20, and were able to cast unbelievable spells and magic that would shake the very fabric of the weave. And they saved the world, apparently, or so the legend goes. In Aramare, they're not so much understanding how they saved the entire world with something that happened in the Ria during an invasion, but that's what your knowledge would be, that the Ria claims that the predecessors, the ones who founded their empire, helped save all of the world and all of the realms.
Alice is gonna pull out that book Sandy gave her and just kind of like tap on it a little bit.
Be like, chapter 1. Just starts reading from the book.
It's It's
but
a first.
That their name was the Silver Warbreakers.
Mm-hmm. It's an autobiography.
Oh.
Of my grandfather.
She's gonna start flipping through it.
And Lance looks at Zany and goes, "You got that journal still?"
Yes, here you go, love. She just
Mhm.
pulls it out, hands it over. As you
before
start flipping through, like the very first thing is it's about an airship crash. It's literally they met on an airship crash. That's the first thing you see is a big giant picture of an airship just falling out of the sky.
That's what she's looking for is pictures.
It's illustrated.
Perfect.
Lance, you were about to say something?
yeah,
I wanna make sure
Lance just wants you to have it. He doesn't take it back from you, and he just points at it and goes, and that's an autobiography of my great two greats, right, DM?
4 greats.
Great grandfather.
Don't
Humans.
say it. Don't say it.
So there was a group.
Go ahead.
Lance has been building up. Like Brian has been like,
Yeah.
like, just go.
That
do
was
it.
formed that the Warbreakers defeated. It was formed by 3 individuals. I need to pull something up to see which ones. They were formed by Daystone's Grand Enchantress, a devil, and he'll point to the book, and the Grand Necromancer.
Bloody fucking hell! Really?
Anyone can quickly roll an history or arcana check.
Why? Why do I?
That's about right. APOC, okay. And Erlon is typing. I'm not sure if it's appearing or not. Oh, except Big Red. Okay.
You're good. I was wondering if you want me to, because since
previously you're from the RIA, so
okay, cool.
This is more of a what those titles mean for it.
I gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, Alice doesn't really follow much about arcane practices or whatever, but APOC and Erlon do know that in the RIA it's Daystone, in Eremer it's Dawnstone. Those are 2 separate main magical cities where a lot of wizards and sorcerers and people train and study magic of the arcane kind. Each school is represented by a grand caster. So the most powerful or most knowledgeable teacher of abjuration is the Grand Abjurer. The most powerful evoker or teacher is the Grand Evoker. The Grand Necromancer is the one who specializes in necromancy. The necromancy is technically banned in the RIA. It's not banned in Eremer. So Grand Necromancer in the RIA is not a thing. It's outlawed. So there is no technically Grand Necromancer.
Father was,
or at least recognized.
The last one. Your father was the last one. Great grandfather was the last one.
Actually, he wasn't. He took the title after his master died, and took the title as a way to try to get revenge, and that was when he helped form that group, which the reason that word was so alarming to hear was called the Harbingers.
They were an organization bent on the task of bringing back a deific apocalypse.
What does that mean?
A god that sole purpose is to destroy this world.
We know the name, right, DM?
The Endless War.
Yes.
Well, we're not going to let that happen, are we?
It's been stopped.
Perfect.
And it can come back, though. It has before.
That was actually, I think, why both of us were concerned when you said that name.
Yes.
because if the sword had that name, there is a chance that group has reorganized.
But that
and
word
they are
was
trying to do it again.
that word was nearly stricken from Rian literature.
Why would a holy weapon be supported or supporting a cause like that?
Well, in this world, holy can mean a lot of different things. There's a lot of different gods. And maybe it's a holy weapon, but maybe it's tied to this evil god of war.
It's entirely possible that it's holy in the sense that it is divine, and nothing more than that. As in from a divine being, just outer planes.
So what you're saying, if I understand correctly, is the weapon that I've been using to meet justice and to spread goodness has an infernal taint? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, as you being what you are, how the hells have you not felt the infernal energy release every time you've killed something? Because I've felt it from across the train.
As soon as I met you, I felt it right beside you.
I'm well aware. Pardon me, Miss Alice.
Oh, no, you're fine. Just interjecting. Go ahead.
No, after you.
Oh, no, I was just going to say I'm pretty sure the first words out of Erlan's mouth were his sword sends people to hell.
Where they belong.
Not always.
No, I think your sword actually damns the soul to hell.
Where it belongs.
Anybody's soul.
I don't understand how to speak it any clearer.
It doesn't care.
Yes.
But I do. I only use it to meet justice to those who deserve it.
Darling, to be fair, who are you to say who deserves it?
I am who I am.
Well, maybe that's why the sword's fighting back, and plants a point to his hand.
Valid.
Either way.
Pause for a moment and mention, Erlon, you do realize this because you rolled that 20.
Yeah.
They had something to do with trying to get the invasion to start with, and there may be a connection still. With that term with Apoc's sword.
That's not good.
Words and names have power and meaning, Big Red.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't understand. And he slams his fist down on the table and he says, I don't understand what you're trying to say. Just say it clearly.
Alice will cheers to that. Here. But she is kind of like picking Sheldon up a little bit because his bones rattled when he slammed him on the table.
There were a group of people, well, a group of beings that aimed to bring about the end of the world, and between meeting someone of your talents, Alice, and seeing that sword and hearing that name, and if I'm correct about who was in Apoc's vision, it means they possibly dare to try again soon.
Are they called the Gray Flame?
No. The Gray
Does
Flame.
anybody
Oh, that's so...
does anybody know about the
You
Gray
say the
Flame?
Great Flame? Or
The Gray Flame.
Would we know the? That's a general knowledge what the Gray
Yeah,
Flame
that's a
is, right?
general knowledge about
Okay.
them. How much you know about their teaching or is the history of that depends on your character. Zanny probably knows just because
Our family has a hatred of.
Yeah.
Do I need
An
to roll a
inherent hatred
religion
of them.
check
Did
to
Zanny
know
say
things?
that? Sorry.
Yeah, well, sorry. Lance, go ahead,
go
roll the religion. You would know the basic, some of the basics of their tenets.
Okay.
You know from the book that was one of their plans to get this religion to invade, and by invading, stir up war. And by stirring up war, you know who comes along.
The Syrian Empire that
Cathal.
the Rhea repelled
The Cathal.
were the worshippers of the Gray Flame. That was something the Harbingers wanted to stir up and cause trouble to bring about the endless war, which worked.
And the people that stopped it, or the people that, when I say they saved the world, that's what I mean. Is they're the ones that stopped the endless war from.
Now I will mention Lance and Zanny are saying that they stopped this endless war, this god. But there's only the 16 gods, and the endless war is like a force. It for Apoc, Erlon, M, and Alice. I mean, if there was a god that manifested on this side of the divine gate, how come no one knows about it? Why? How could one god just appear and then disappear 200 years ago? Especially this nefarious or powerful god that can challenge the 16.
Darling, I'm failing to see how I fit into this at all. I mean, people can see ghosts, it's not that weird.
It's the I don't believe in coincidence, and I haven't for a very long time. The strings pull us all together for reasons, and those strings pulled us together, and they have kept us that way, and we even mean to keep ourselves that way before any of this even got brought up. And
Is Lance laughing?
Keep going. Lance is laughing at Lance had a thought, and Lance is laughing, giggling to himself at this point.
Is something funny?
And Lance just kind of like goes around the room. He's like, we're the ones that have to do it next.
That's why did you have to say that out loud?
And you know what? We should really fuck with them. We should call ourselves the Harbingers. The Harbingers of Truth or Justice or something cool like that. Zadie has a heart attack.
M can because I'm assuming M of everybody in there probably has the highest like passive insight.
He's got a 17.
Yeah, 17.
And like Zanny's almost starting to like fully shut down.
Oh boy.
I was joking, but you are right. It does seem like fate has brought us together for some reason.
Not the name. It's not the name. I actually think
Is
that's
this
kind
god
of
more
glib.
powerful than the 16?
Yes.
Don't be ridiculous, there's no such thing.
Yes, there is. There is such a thing.
There is when that thing has been around since before the 16.
It predates them.
Just because something has been around longer doesn't mean it's stronger.
It does when you're talking about gods.
Yes.
Typically. If a god lives that long, that means it is extremely powerful.
Well, if it's so powerful and so long-lived, why have
Dragons are that way too.
never heard of it?
That's part of it.
I think that's what it does. Is it makes everybody forget.
I remember enough to know that I'm not supposed to remember anything. And my family was there.
The only reason I know is because of that book in Zanny's hand.
I have it written. My grandfather wrote it down. And if I don't have the words in front of my face, sometimes it's still gibberish in my mind. And I can't explain it, but that's what it does. And it does it to hide in plain sight. And then it comes back and it tries to destroy everything again, and people have to band together to save it. And it was only 200 bloody fucking years ago. Didn't want it to be me. Sorry.
Oh.
I didn't want it to be me. Lance.
Oh no, I know. I didn't want it to be me either. Ironic that we're both working together on this.
Well, I'm glad that you and I are on the same page, but perhaps we should probably work together to bring our friends up to speed a little faster. What do you know?
I know what's in that book. That it was created, that the Harbingers were created out of malice to bring it back. I know that the Endless War is a god that predates the creation of the 16 and the origination. It's manifests in different forms when it comes back. And
the last time it was made out of fire and shadow.
It's been like come back like 5 times, and it feeds on war and fuels the wars around them, and we're in the middle of a goddamn civil war. Like,
exactly.
Actually smack in the center of it right now.
I found Harbinger in Hassania. The bunnies, the rabbits were reinforcing a company of revolutionary troops.
What are the rabbits?
My friends, my brethren. We're a mercenary band. Eratus Lepus. The Angry Bunnies.
That is awesome.
I do appreciate the name.
Danny.
Yes, dear.
Does your books tell you where a rift tire is?
No, I mean, yes and no. It would tell us where it was.
I know in there it mentions that was one of the things they were looking for early on, but it doesn't really say much else about that. I don't know what that has to do with it, but I know it's supposed to be some mythical thing that helps. A tower of some sort.
APOC, roll with advantage. Erlon, Alice, roll a religion check. Straight.
I couldn't tell you where it is.
Alice.
That's the point.
Wow. APOC, roll with advantage one more time. Erlon, Jesus.
Oh.
Okay.
We got some people about to meet the 16 today.
Yeah. What?
I have a +1 with
Em,
religion, so that's
roll
great.
one more.
I've only
APOC,
got a
roll one more.
+2.
Oh wait, you did. You did the with advantage. Okay. So yeah,
I
just
am
roll
not
yours.
religious.
No.
Oh, you said me.
Yes.
Get him at 20.
Please.
Religion. Stop scrolling back up.
Come on. I believe in you.
Religion. Well, that makes one of us. These dice aren't well.
Is it nat?
No idea.
Was natural.
What that word is, you don't even know what that word even means at all. For you, you're just like, do you know where blank is? I don't know what that is. Okay. APOC.
Sounds about right.
You are from you know where originally.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That is
That's what it's called.
you know what
I
it
think.
is, like as a city.
Okay.
You don't know how they would know that word, as that is another city, or at least in your people very much respect, or at least
Okay.
was a fabled one, but that is part of your cultural background.
Okay.
So if this was a good way of analyzing it, think of like the British mentioning Avalon. Like
Got it.
that
Okay.
is like, wait, what? How do you know about that obscure element? For Erlon and Alice, you okay, so because you rolled the nat 20s, your parents once told you a story about this mythical tower that had been blessed by the 16 and had all of their some of like part of their magic in them. It is a tower of power, of strangely enough what they called it redemption and a salvation. They use those words specifically, and even when you ask them like how what is this, like they just say that's the story, and that's where all the heroes go and where all the heroes come back from to help save the world. That is a bedtime story you've heard from your parents. Think of it like going to the Garden of Eden or going to Laputa. That's the better one. In Gulliver's Travels, going to the fabled flying city of Laputa. But that is a fairy tale that they speak of that is just about heroes journeying there and coming back more powerful to save the world. That is a bedtime story. And now these folks are mentioning it with straight faces.
Are you okay?
No. Are you?
You look like I did when you said Harbinger. I feel like that maybe struck a chord.
I was not prepared for a non-angel kin to really be able to speak intelligently about that.
My grandfather went there when he was young. And if you saw the Sentinel, you're being called to go to it as well.
As what type of instrument?
If it's them, likely an instrument of redemption, of mercy.
You don't understand. There is a point at which one does not deserve redemption.
I thought that too. And then I tried again. And within 2 weeks of doing so, I found you lot. I sat in wallowing pity for 2 decades and finally decided, fuck it, I'll try one more time. And I met a putty woman who reminds me of the stories of my grandfather. I met a man who rivals one of my uncles with a sword. I met the 4 times great grandson of the fucking Grand Necromancer.
I think he preferred the Arch Lich King of Sindane at
I
the end.
do
but-
not fucking care what your
Yeah.
asshole of a great grandparent wanted to call himself. He was
You
a
all
piece of
do
shit and he
hear
deserved to
that.
die.
Lich King of Sindane, which Erlon, you know, Sindane is. Oh yeah, that's right next to the Beltlands. It's right across the mountains. Lich King. And you vaguely, because you rolled a 10 on history, you vaguely remember something about an undead invasion led by a Lich King.
Yeah. Ugh.
But
Do
that's
I
like the
know?
French and Indian War. No one knows. No one normal knows the complexities of the French and Indian War.
Hey, wait a minute. I just taught that.
Nor, hey, I
Now, wait a
said no
second.
one like.
No
Hey,
one-
come on, our American education system. No one teaches
Where are
No
you
one
right
except
now?
Lumi.
French and Indian.
Where are you right now?
I know it happened.
Exactly.
And
so
I know
did I.
there was
Precursor
also
to
like
the
a-
American Revolution. So
There was like a
it
war
is
of
precursor.
1812 that didn't take place in 1812.
Yeah. So again, this is like I'm trying to make illusions so you guys understand kind of what it is.
By the way, Alice sees ghosts on the regular and regularly has communications with the dead, and she thinks you're all nuts.
There are too many coincidences, and I don't believe in them in the first place, like I said, so something is happening, and I am starting to believe that we are meant to
What?
be together. We're meant to be together, APOC. All of us. We're meant to do something. As much as I did not want to be a person in my family that did it, we're meant to do it.
We've all done things
Says the cat.
already.
Hey,
He's,
Fox.
Sorry.
he's wild shaped.
No, we love the cat. You don't have to move him.
He's wild shaped
You're
into a
okay.
cat.
You shape shifted into
Now
a cat.
I
You
now
start
I like
talking.
this guy. Definitely like this guy now.
Do you know what it's like for a 10-year-old boy to have the weight of their family's existence thrust upon him?
Yes.
Hey, Pop, you look at Lance and you can tell
Yeah.
that answer was dead serious and personal.
Very well, Lance. Let me ask you this. How well did you meet that challenge?
Still working on it.
I crumbled. I crumbled. I ran away from the church on the eve of my consecration as a paladin. I ran away. Couldn't do it.
You were to be consecrated as a paladin.
I couldn't do it. Do you hear the voice of the 16? In your heart, in your head? Have you ever heard that voice?
Not often.
But you have heard of it. You have heard it.
Once.
I haven't. Never. And my father sat me in his study and he explained the way my life was going to progress and how I was going to be the savior of this family, return us to the status that we used to have. And I ran like a coward. I may as well have plunged the dagger into my father's heart when he took his own life. Not before whoring my sister out to a family that didn't deserve her. I couldn't be that person, so I stopped being that person. And I put on a mask. I don't know if I wore the mask or the mask wore me, but I became APOC Elgor. And I clothed myself in the belief that I was good, and the lives that I took were evil. But you know what, Zanny? You want to know about the lives that I took? Can I tell you? I did it because I liked it. And I hate myself for that.
It's okay to like it, Elizabeth.
I hate myself.
Just placing a hand gently on yours. May I tell you a story?
Sure.
I'm not very good at them. But...
Certainly.
There was a man who found some friends and saved the world. And that's a great heroic story. But what they don't tell everyone is the story that shook me out of my stupor. My great-grandfather, one of the greatest heroes ever in the rear. When he was a teenager, he saw what he was going to become. Penniless boy on the streets. And his gifts of mind control tend to darker thoughts. And seeing the evil that he was to become, he took his own life as a teenager. And he was found by this cleric and brought back to life. And decided from that day on that if he couldn't be good, he could at least be good at it. And he could fake it till he made it. And I'm quite sure that's not actually the moral of the story, but that's what I took away from it. Anyone can get redemption, even after death. And you haven't even died yet. So I think we can get it for you.
He just says in a really weak voice, what if I'm not good enough?
I think right now you all can definitely see when he says that Erlon. How is Erlon body language as he says those words specifically? What if I'm not good enough?
So like Erlon's in all sorts of like emotions. That's not cool because it's not a big red thing to do. But APOC, I said it before, we're here for you. And if you're not good enough, well, obviously we banded together, and what Zanny said earlier, for some reason, all of us came together for some type of reason, and we're going to be there to carry you through it all. I'll be your shield, and you can be my sword. We'll be together. And just with everything that's been talked about and stuff like that, I guess Big Red can share some feelings. So I just share
Big
with
Red
them.
literally monologues that way. I
Yeah,
guess.
literally, yeah, exactly,
Yes.
exactly like that.
I accept nothing less.
So it's with everything that you guys said, and the reason why I brought up the Gray Flame is there's a lot that's happened to me in the past, and how you guys say that you've gone through all this and you know that you've gone through all these things and you seek redemption. In my past, I wasn't Big Red. Who Big Red is in my eyes is my brother. And a long time ago, our whole town was attacked and we were under an enchantment spell, and we didn't know half the things that we did during this enchantment. And my brother was everything to me. He was my Big Red. And one moment we were together, the next, these great Gray Flame people came in, took advantage of us, and put us under the spell. And I don't know half the things that I did to people that probably didn't deserve it. I don't remember any of it. The next time I came back, I was there in my same town that I've always grown up in, and my Big Red was gone. I don't know the outcome. I don't know what became of him. And I could never go back to my town because, I don't know, I'm trying to seek my own place in this vast world. But when you think that you're not good enough, I've seen a lot from every single one of these people that I haven't seen in anybody. So, yeah. And I'm going to go check on the train now.
You all let Erlon leave in this after the emotional reveal.
I walk around to Erlon. The Grey Flame and my family have a bit of history. They weren't very fond of my great-grandfather. Or my grandfather, sorry. They weren't fond of him at all. As a matter of fact, they tried to kill him. Or whatever they were going to do, burn his brain out or something. Gods know. He was possessed. They, on several different occasions, they have attempted to ruin us, our entire way of life. And so we keep pushing back. And I do wish we didn't have to. Maybe you should check on the train. This is lots of feelings.
And
Before
like
you
with
go,
that, oh yeah.
Before you go, though, I'm not giving you my sappy story. You can figure it out.
I don't care, Lance.
Good. Just what we said in here about the endless war, the harbingers. Be careful. Don't talk about it to anybody. One thing that I do remember from that book is the old harbingers had powerful artifacts. Some thing that one of them is referred to as a piece of a sword of some sort. But they also had a way to control people's minds. And the harbingers weren't just a group of people, they were an ideal. And they can come back. And my fear is that they may come back in our lifetime. So I trust everybody in this room to have told you this information. But let's be careful who we tell outside of this room.
And you know I have voices in my head, right?
Did Big Red just laugh?
Don't we all? Is that? Do we not all have?
I mean, Alice was in my head earlier.
Yeah.
But I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. We're going to have a conversation about that, love.
Darling, is this a permanent thing, by the way? And she's pointing at Zanny.
Absolutely not. As soon as I leave this room.
But darling, you sound lovely.
But as soon as I leave this, I'm purposefully changing everything. I mean, I'm dropping a name and putting on a whole facade, and it's a whole show.
But when you do that, the closest thing I have to class with me is Lance.
That's the point.
hey.
Well,
Hey.
I need to blend in more. I stick out like a sore thumb.
Oh no, darling. Trust me, with me you look the most normal out of our whole group. No eyes are on you, they're all on me. I mean, look at me. And she's gonna flip her hair a little bit, and as she does, she like uses her cantrip to just make that one little wave just a little bit fuller.
You look the same as every other fancy person in this town. Let's be honest here, the one who stands out in our group is M.
That's fair.
All eyes look at M, who's been quiet.
Hasn't said anything.
A little bit quiet this whole conversation.
What about you? Do you have a tragic backstory of
Right.
loss
Jesus
and
Christ.
demise?
Please no.
Or is your whole family dead and abandoned you or something?
Brian, this is like that whole, are you a Disney princess too? Are you like...
Yeah.
I mean, actually,
Magic.
to be honest, I don't know if they're if my biological family is alive or not. That's actually why I'm here on this realm. I long time ago followed this guy. Wait, where'd he go? Oh, up there. And he points on the shelf to the sleeping blazer. I followed that guy into I followed him and ended up following him into a portal, and that's how I ended up in the Fae. And I've been there for basically my whole life.
Well, darling,
And so I actually don't know what happened to my folks here on this realm, if they're still kicking, or what's going on with that.
So we have to find your family. We have to... He looks at Alice and goes, too much to unpack there. Erlon, we gotta find your brother.
Wow.
Zanny, we've gotta find...
No, not going to get into it.
we need to find your place in this world.
Sure, let's go with that.
APOC, we need to save your sister and help find you redemption.
Perfect. Let's do it in that order. Great.
No, maybe finding your sister will be your redemption. I don't know how this works, okay?
what, darling M, do you want me to look for your family? Just really quick, I can just, give it a cursory little, hello, does anyone know Emberin around here?
I suppose it wouldn't hurt. Sure.
Okay, Alice is terrible at seances, by the way. She comes across spirits completely by happenstance. So she's gonna give she's gonna get really, really quiet for a moment, and I am going to expend my bardic inspiration to speak with the spirits, but there's absolutely no telling what's gonna come out of her.
No, the second we solve M's problems, he's just gonna disappear. Like, just no.
I mean,
he's fixed.
if I recall correctly, we lived in the Halaz forest, so I'm not sure we're really close enough. But if you want to try, I won't stop you.
She's gonna get really quiet.
Emberin, we need to ask you to leave. We need people with severe emotional damage. That's not you.
You don't have enough emotional damage to be in this party. Sorry.
You must be this damaged to ride.
The name of the group is the Emotionally Damaged Heartbreak.
The Harbingers of Emotional Damage.
Alice has had a great life. I don't know what you guys' problem is.
Alice, we all know you have emotions, you just haven't shown them yet.
Alice is going to expend one of her bardic inspiration points. She's going to close her eyes for a moment, and she's just going to kind of feel the energy around her, and if she does come across one, she's going to start asking literally simple questions like, do you know an Emberin? And just ask them to pass it on down the line, just through the Great unknown. It's probably not going to work at all, Gassan. She's putting on a show right now. She's a bard.
I know. Roll a performance.
telephone.
Roll a performance check.
I'm totally gonna treat this just like Lance's stuff and like, whoa, it's magic.
Yeah, you give the very. I mean, Alice, do you want to describe how much of a flair and spectacle it is?
So it's actually the thing that is most impressive about this performance is it is the most muted thing she's done just as a person. It looks like she's genuinely like trying, but she's also bullshitting her way through this because again, she does not know how to commune with spirits without like doing it on purpose. So she gets very quiet and like she starts like whispering little words under her breath in Elvish. And if anybody knows Elvish, they're very just like basic words like "come to me, speak through me, I'm trying to speak with you." And then if she ever like feels anything, she's gonna be like, "I'm looking for someone who's related to an Emberin. I know it's not a lot of information, but I just need to know if there's a spirit that is passed on with unfinished business with their son."
Just any spirit with unfinished business with their son.
Pretty much.
Yep, just any of them.
After a while,
How many people did I just piss off in my like last day or two on the plane?
You feel something, Alice. You feel something, and you latch onto that, and you say that, whispering it in Elvish, trying to communicate to them. So, if you know M, or pass it along. If you know someone who knows Emberin, please let us know. And about 7 minutes go by before that feeling fades away.
I'm gonna take my 1d6 for. Oh, there's the charisma one again. So really rolling the non-combat one a lot. She's gonna open her eyes and go, "But I can't say for certain they're dead, so I guess that's a good thing, probably."
Hey, that's a starter.
That does help.
Based on that map you have, it's been like 1,000 years since you were here, right?
That's suppose. I'm not sure what year it is currently.
It is. DM insert appropriate.
11413.
It's the 11400s. It's the 400.
And M is 1,000 years out, back in the Steel Age.
Oh, 11. Yeah, that's quite a while back.
Yeah. So for those who
we're long lived though as Fey Giants.
Yeah. So for those who in game think of it like if it was the 1900s, you're hearing someone who's from the 980.
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
I remember that day.
Lumi would have so many questions for them. Alice doesn't give a fuck.
You are older than me.
Kitty.
A chunky kitty. Look at this long
Heckin'
cat. It is not
chunkster.
long. It is just thick. There is no long cat here.
That's the chunk.
We are just thick.
You all then hear a loud.
Now that we've
to posit the question.
It's been about 2 hours in real time.
Yeah.
Well,
the train has taken off.
No, by 16. We could have just gone to Jeddah. If we're on such short notice, I would like to see my husband before the world ends. Look, if the world's ending, those people don't need their phoenix feather.
We do need to go get the feather.
We're not on.
I think
we're not on that kind of clock.
Phoenix feather might, if the world is ending, might actually help in the situation if we were able to retrieve a phoenix feather.
Phoenix feather.
You'd be surprised what people will do when the world is ending.
What are we going to tell people? Should I shout it from the rooftops? Hello, everybody, the world is
Absolutely
ending.
no, absolutely not. I cannot stress this enough. Please do not go around telling everyone that.
I'll only tell Bruce and possibly my sisters.
Do you like them?
Book club.
Oh, I love
Do you
them
like
dearly.
those people?
I love them dearly.
Don't tell them.
Then don't tell them.
Alice, love, I have put you in grave danger by telling you a single word of this. And if you tell your husband, you will put him in grave danger, and if we are not around to save his life when assassins eventually come for him, it will be bad.
Has an
Why-
assassin ever come from for Bruce before? Okay, just
He's
making
an
sure.
owner of a. He has sometimes hired security for events,
Yeah.
and sometimes there's been some people who try to like crash parties, but not an assassin. I mean, he's
We're
the
not
owner of
there
a
yet.
paper company.
We're not there yet.
so-
We're getting there, guys. One day.
Yeah.
One day.
He
So-
wishes he had an
Yeah,
assassin
darling,
sent
it's a
after
symbol
him.
of status to have an assassin stand after you.
So
Has Lance
Zanny,
been tried to be assassinated before?
yeah, by members of this group.
Alice thinks about it regularly.
All right.
I've
Big Red
absolutely been.
pushes aside and starts heading out. He kind of sticks his head out, and he does see one train that's already taking off and heading towards Jeddah.
You see Eloquent on the veranda.
No, I don't have X-ray vision, Lance. Thanks.
Aren't you looking out at?
He's
Aren't
not
you
gonna
looking-
be
Didn't you
out.
open the door and look
That would be
outside?
super handy, though.
He's also knee height to
Yeah,
everybody
I
out
will.
there.
I will. So I'll go outside.
You see her
All right,
knees.
so you run past everything else. The guards almost like you're. They'll let you pass because they recognize you as sort of like a person who help. For a moment, they like tense, thinking you're about to be like a stowaway and jump, not recognizing who you are. But then they see the red hair and realize.
Did you
who it
scream
is.
Eloquent again?
No, I said the world's ending. Leave me alone. No, I'm just playing.
But roll a perception check. You are basically running towards a train that is already taking off, trying to see if you can catch an image of her on said train.
Just a fleeting glimpse.
No, you're not able to tell. If the train is moving too fast, you're not able to make out
Stop
a tiny
the
thing.
train.
No. Let out a big sigh and literally put my head down and walk back in.
Sad Charlie Brown walk.
That Charlie Brown walk. And
I
just
mean,
be
if
like,
you guys are going to Jeddah, maybe you'll see her there.
yeah, maybe. But
It's
no,
a big city.
they left. They left us. No, it's fine.
Darlings, perhaps we get on the move with finding this phoenix feather then, so we can make it to Jeddah. Because if we're looking for a phoenix feather, we're also not solving, Apoc's problem.
Well, let's also not forget that we went and found this woman. We pulled her into this room to talk to her, and then promptly pushed her out.
And then she had to leave.
Well, that's just politics, darling.
But she does also understand why. And I would like to talk to her if we do meet her in Jeddah. I would like to run across her again.
So, why are you afraid, Lance and Doc?
The
What are you
name
afraid of?
Harbinger is a group that almost ended the world once.
Okay.
At least once that we know of.
Okay.
That word is next to taboo for me and mine.
They were founded by a devil. Your sword has power from the hells, or infernal powers of some sort. And there was mention in the book about them having a shard of some sword that did something.
Okay.
That was what triggered it for me. Was you said the name Harbinger, you have a sword that branded you and is radiating hellish energy.
There was a moment when I was absolutely terrified that the sword you were holding had a piece of that sword that they had in it.
And what if it does?
Then it is
Going to destroy you
yes,
and all of us
it would.
and the world.
It
Okay.
could.
Then I'm going to propose that we take this sword before it kills me, before it kills us, and before it kills the world. We get together and we go fuck some shit up. and we go out of this world kicking and screaming.
A point of
Freedom.
interest. What if we don't want to go out of this world? What if we're quite happy with this world?
That's the point.
Well, I
of
mean,
this
to be honest,
conversation.
you're gonna go out of it at one point.
And don't worry, Alice. Bruce is
Eventually,
really
anyway.
gonna miss you. He's
Darling,
really gonna miss you.
darling, you think I'm not intrinsically aware of what goes on after a person dies? I mean, come on.
Miss Alice, do you want to?
I figured
want
you
to
would
live?
know more than most. Yeah.
Do you wish to live, Miss Alice?
Yes, I also don't wish to go running off headlong into a death if I can avoid it.
Perfect.
Where's your sense of adventure?
About 3 shots in the future.
Lance just pulls out your bottle of gin and hands it to you.
So here's the deal. You're telling me that I can be redeemed.
I am.
Then let's go redeem ourselves. Let's go ahead. You know what? Fuck the Harbingers. I hope they are here.
Oh, it
Because
wouldn't
you know
take
what?
That far, but
No. You know
Let
what?
him finish.
One of the wishes that I always got was, may I live in interesting times. Shit's about to get real interesting. Because you know what? Whether I end up in hell or I end up just completely destroyed, I'm going to go out kicking and fighting.
Can I?
Lance doesn't say the words, but he mouths at whoever's looking at him that's not APOC. Isn't that a curse?
Yeah, any of you would be aware that may you live in interesting times is an ancient curse.
Might I bring up, while we're talking of death, and she's gonna take a drink, and whatnot, I suppose now is as good a time as any. I probably should have let the doctor know when she was, almost killing me on the train, and she holds up her right hand, which has this, massive ring on it with a sapphire in the middle that kind of is, ridged like a brain a little bit, but it also kind of just could be the cut of the jewel. If I die, and you absolutely cannot retrieve my body and get it where it needs to go, just take this back to Bruce.
Mhm.
Anyone who has any knowledge of
Yeah, and I was about to
magical
ask, anyone can roll
items,
an Arcana check.
but
Sure.
huh?
But-
If you're, but if we don't have your, but we wouldn't have your
darling,
the
if
ring
you
either.
if you can't pick me up and carry me back home, or to a cleric to bring me back to life, just slip this bad boy off.
Technically,
my finger.
there is that one spell that we really just need her hand, and we can bring her back.
That's true.
I mean, I carried a giant scorpion about 2 miles. I'm pretty sure I can lift you.
For at least Lance and Zanny, you would be very, very familiar with that. That is a ring of mind shielding.
Yeah.
You know what we need?
Exactly what it is.
I need to get. It's a super bag of coldine. So if you die, I can actually fit you in there.
Now, DM.
Oh, so it was super in that it was bigger, or super in that it got colder?
Bigger.
DM.
Yes.
Would that work as what's the spell that you are,
Gentle
good for
repose.
a day? Yeah, would that work as gentle repose if he drops your body temperature to delay decomposition?
No, so it has to be that spell itself.
Okay.
Gentle
That
repose.
that's what the item says.
That
It does preserve the item while it's
The bag of
maintained in there.
colding.
The bag
Yeah,
of
that's
colding.
the
Preserves the
exact
item.
Because it's more about, I also see gentle repose as not just the body, but the spirit for it. But let me just look at the wording.
What if Alice's spirit is in her ring that is connected to the body that is in the bag?
Dang.
Because with the bag of colding, if you put fresh herbs or something in there, it extends their life, or fresh meat. It extends it so it doesn't go
You could
bad.
certainly try and see what the dice say.
Let's just hope we don't have to find out what happens to your body.
Yeah.
Let's just kill Alice and put her in the bag of colding.
Exactly.
Kill her with the hellfire.
That's a good way to protect her.
Oh no.
That is a
For science.
that is a meta question we need to discuss later, DM. If you have a ring of mind shielding and you kill them with the hellfire sword, what actually happens with the sword or with the soul? Who gets
It
priority?
depends on which item is stronger, and I'm right now leaning towards a hellfire
Yeah.
sword.
They're both
Yeah.
uncommon items.
Yeah.
They're both uncommon. That's why I'm saying I'm leaning towards it. I think it would be a contest between like the dice, like a D20 versus a D20.
Your magic item roll off.
Yeah, because one is trying to capture the soul, the other is trying to send the soul straight to hell.
Look, as we get stronger, I'm just gonna grab the spirits by their little ankles and drag them back down to earth.
Yeah.
So if someone dies, I'm grabbing you by your little ghost ankle, and you're getting back in there.
Awesome. With that being said, the group gathers their belongings, realizing they've been talking for well over 2 hours, and it's right now around
Time is
11
weird in
a.m.
this plane.
In game. So, you guys want to catch the next train? Probably need to settle things in Wahatwa, or wait till
Let's go bust some bandit skulls.
Wait, I want to get my chainmail, or at least check on it, please.
Yeah, we should do that because I mean I can't keep fixing your sleeves.
No, and there's only so much I can. And she just looks over at the open door and just. There's only so much I can patch up.
And with that, the group heads towards Market Road, or Market Street, sorry. And I think that is a good place to take our break.
How
All right.
long, DM?
Let's do 15 minutes.
Okay.
It's right now 8:30, so let's come back 8:45 Pacific. But 15 minutes for the clock.
15. Please.
Boom.
All right. See you all soon.